Good day, sir. I am Aprilyn Espinosa, assigned leader of Group 2. My group members are Jeric Garjan, Jeffrey Destajo, CJ Sorbano, Mary Joy Garcia, Melanie Jeremias, Jevelyn Balidoy, Joyce Abigail de los Santos, and Marjorie Kilala. I gave them individual topics that they need to discuss. Good day, everyone. I'm Aprilyn Espinosa, and I am going to discuss the personal functions of art. The personal functions of art are often the most difficult to explain. There are many types of personal functions, and these are highly subjective. Personal functions of art are not likely to be the same from person to person. An artist may create a piece out of a need for self-expression or gratification. They might also, or instead, want to communicate a thought or point to the viewer. Sometimes, an artist is only trying to provide an aesthetic experience both for self and viewers. A piece might be meant to entertain, provoke thought, or even to have a particular effect at all. So, personal function as an artist, parang nagigibo ka sa art na personal, parang parang pag nakita siya sa viewer mo na, halimbawa, ako artist ako, naggibo ako sa saro na art, tapos, pag nakita ito sa viewer ko, bagan, maaaraman nila kung anong ibig sabihin sa to, bagan kung paano ka express ang sa diri ko, ang bagan message sa to na art. Tapos, personal function is vague for a reason. From artist to artist and viewer, one's experience with art is different. Knowing the background and behaviors for an artist helps when interpreting the personal functions of their pieces.
The topic that is given to me is all about the social function of arts, which is the definition of social function of arts. Social function of arts are those that go beyond personal intrinsic value to art's social benefits. Individuals and their society are dynamically related. Art communicates. Most often, it is constructed with the intention of sharing responses to and opinions about life with others. Art enriches, informs, and questions our world. When highly valued, it can be both a social and financial asset. Art have powerful transformative and restorative effects within a society as well. The related concept, for example, record and communicate experience. Art documents and conveys a vast array of human experience. The messages of art can be communicated interpersonally between cultures and across time. Another example, art as commodity and cultural capital. The value of art in general or any particular art object can change from place to place and time to time. Yet, art is many times exchanged for money, or in some cases, as money. Art is also value dimension of the asset of a culture in general. Another one is social commentary. Art can provide both serious and humorous reflection about the criticism of society. Through their art, artists seeking social changes bring public awareness to a variety of social, political, and environmental issues. Another one is collaboration and community building. Art can bring people together. Frequently, groups collaborate in the art-making process, such as working to create a public mural, temple, or illustrated book. The viewing and discussion of an art show or participation in a community ritual, ceremony, or celebration also brings people together as a community. The last one is enrichment of humankind. People can be greatly enriched by art through learning to feel the wonder of and to inquire about life, looking at humankind's many beautiful and thought-provoking creation or being transformed through the benefits of satisfying art production. The world is enriched through the vast cultural legacies of its peoples, innovative, insightful creations, and enhancement of the visual world. Based on my understanding about social function of art, from the word social, it means that relating to the society or its organization. And we all know that art is part of the society, part of the culture, and also in everyday living. Um, for me, social function of art is when we talk about the function, it it includes the types and varieties and other about the social function of arts. And also, I believe in the famous quotes of art that art is everywhere and everywhere is an art, because it means that, for me, it means that you can socialize with other by means of art, and every part of the world there is an art. That's all. Thank you.
Philosophical import of arts in integrity. Artistic integrity defined as the ability to omit unacceptable level of opposing, disrupting, and corrupting values that would alter an artist or entity's original version in a manner that violates their own preconceived aesthetic standards and personal values. It is often academically studied under the greater umbrella of personal integrity. The definition itself can take on many forms and has been argued about academically due to the nature of artistic integrity. Despite the widespread use of the concept in mass media and creative industry, artistic integrity has often been philosophically ignored in comparison to personal and mechanical integrity. An important factor to consider in discussion of artistic integrity is context in the term of not only the historical but more prominent in the community and artists' respective cultural and personal understanding of the term. The philosophical concept of artistic integrity can be traced back to the development of Romantic movement, alongside a link to the increased idealization of artists. As the Romantic movement also brought differentiation of artists from the other trade person into reverse Byronic geniuses. Artistic geniuses concepts is closely related to the said artist maintaining artistic integrity. In 1960s, where the Soviet graphic artist Vladimir Fabovsky measured and defined artistic integrity according to how much work of art showcase the time invest of an artist dedicated to a piece. He argued that to do so, art would require to forego their personal entirely and be undistractedly immersed in the artwork itself. Thus, linking time investment as a primary measure of artistic integrity. Elizabeth Hirschman create a model called creative orientation used to help to contextualize artistic integrity in academia. There are three main creative orientations that cohabit the art industry. First, self-oriented creators set their own internal standard of their art above everyone else, even if it means risking potential monetary loss and social backlash. Ito yung mga hindi naman nakabase sa sarili, self-oriented creation, internal in standard of their art, risking their above everyone else, even ito yung nakabase lang sa sarili nila. Hindi sila na sila ang gagastos para sa artwork nila. Peer-oriented creators. Values of artistic over financial gain. But creative industry peer opinion is the focus. Ang peer-oriented creator naman, ito yung naghingi ng opinion sa iba mula sa root word na peer. Kaibigan ba yun? Kaibigan or ibang tao. Ito yung value ng artistic integrity over financial gain. Ito yung mga taong naghihingi ng opinion upang maging maganda pa ang art nila. Commercial-oriented creators focus on monetary gain throughout the creative process. This financial orientation has led to this orientation being the most controversial at it reflects the...
Good morning, sir. Good morning, classmate. My our topic is all about philosophical import of art proportion. First, proportion is the principle of art that refers to relative size. Most, if not all, of the principle of art deal with how the elements are arranged in work of art. Proportion is largely about the relationship of the size of one element when compared to another. It means, for me, proportion simply means it is all about size. For example, a large ball and small ball. As we analyze, these two balls is different to each other because of their size. But these two has a relationship with each other because even if these two is different to its size, then at the end parehas pa rin silang bola. Then proportion is largely the relationship of size of one element when compared to another. When we compare the ball and the ring, as we imagine, parehas silang round. So it has a relationship to each other. So, proportion is the art that refers to a size that has a largely relationship when compared to another. Yun lang po. Thank you.
Proportion. Proportion is the principle of art that refers to relative size. The principle of art differ from the elements of art. Most, if not all, of the principles of art deal with how the elements of art are arranged in the work of art. Proportion is largely about the relationship of the size of one element when compared to another. When drawing or painting realistically, proportion is important. If the proportions are incorrect, then the resulting image will look less realistic or abstracted. So, sabi dito, sinasabi na ang mga prinsipyo ng sining ay naiiba sa mga elemento ng sining. Kasi karamihan sa prinsipyo ng sining ay nakikipag-usap lamang kung paano nasa ayos ang mga element ng sining na nilikha mismo ng sining. Tsaka ang proportion ay tungkol sa ugnayan ng laki ng isang elemento na hambing na or inahambing ito sa isa pa. Gumuguhit o nagpipinta tayo ng makatotohanan ng mga proportion na mga mahalaga. Kung ang proportion ay hindi tama, kung hindi tama, ang proportion ay hindi tama, kung gayon ang nagre-resultang imahe ay nagmumukhang mas makatotohanan o abstract. So, alternately, artists can use proportion for effect by manipulating proportion. The artist can make his or her subject seem strong, weak, funny, mysterious, etc. We can exaggerate proportion to emphasize a meaning or an element within the scene. For example, a caricature artist distorts proportion in order to create a stylized image of the subject. So, bilang isang sining, gumagamit ng proportion para sa mga epekto ng sining sa pamamagitan ng pagmamanipula ng proportion. So, maaring gawin ng mga artist ang kanyang paksa tila malakas, mahina, nakakatawa, mahiwaga. Maaring nating itong sining palikhain ang mga proportion upang bigyang diin ang isang kahulugan ng isang elemento ng eksena. So, halimbawa, sa isang artista ng caricature ba? Ay hindi binabalok ng proportion upang lumika ng isang nilalarawan ng isang imahe. So, before going forward, let's define proportion as it deals with visual art. Proportion does not refer to oversize, but rather the relationship of the sizes of two or more subjects or elements. In art, the size of element is referred to as scale. For example, basketball and baseball are different in scale but share the same is proportion. Bago magpatuloy, tukuyin natin ang proportion habang nakikipag-usap sa visual art. So, proportion ay hindi tumutukoy sa nakahalatang sukat, ngunit sa halip, ugnay ng mga laki, dalawa o higit pa mga paksa sa elemento. Sa sining ng isang elemento ay nagtutukoy or tinutukoy ang bilang sukatan. Halimbawa yung basketball and baseball. Sukat ngunit pareho na binabahagi sa proportion. Ito ang sukat na parehong nagbabahagi sa proportion. So, compositional proportion. For a millennia, artists have sought the most aesthetically pleasing way to arrange visual components in a composition. From two-dimensional artwork or architecture, artists look for proportion ratio that please the eyes. One popular concept was discovered by the ancient Greek mathematician. He called this ratio the golden mean. So, sinasabi natin na sa 1,000 taon, hinahangad ng mga artista na may pinaka-aesthetically na nakalulugod na pamaraan na upang ayusin ang mga visual ng isang komposisyon. Mula sa 2-dimensional na proportion. So, compositional proportion. For a millennia, artists have sought the most aesthetically pleasing way to arrange visual components in a composition. From two-dimensional artwork or architecture, artists look for proportion ratio that please the eyes. One popular concept was discovered by the ancient Greek mathematician. He called this ratio the golden mean. So, sinasabi natin na sa 1,000 taon, hinahangad ng mga artista na may aesthetically na nakalulugod na pamaraan na upang ayusin ang mga visual ng isang komposisyon. Mula sa dalawang dimensional na nilikha ng isang sining hanggang sa arkitektura, ang mga artista ay naghanap ng mga proportion or ratio. Ang isang tanyag ng konsepto ay natuklasan sa mga sinaunang Greek ng matematiko. Tinatawag niya ang ratio na ito sa golden mean. So meaning, ang ratio na ipinapahati sa mga numero. The golden mean is often illustrated as a line that has been divided at a particular point. The line is divided into two segments. The relative relationship of the one part is to the second part, as the second part to the whole sound confusing, right? The golden mean is best understood visually. See the diagram below. O sinasabi, ang golden mean ay madalas na isinilarawan ng isang linya. Nahati sa mga partikular na punto. Ang linya ay nahati sa dalawang segment. Ugnay isang bahagi. Ugnay na isang bahagi ay sa pangalawang bahagi. Tulad ng bahagi ng pangalawang bahagi sa kabuuan. Euclid also applied this ratio to a shape and called it the golden rectangle. The process of dividing the rectangle by the golden mean is infinitely repeatable as the illustration of demonstrate. So sabi dito, inililipat ng Euclid ang ratio. Ito isang hugis na tinatawag gintong rektangulo. Proseso ng rektangulo ng golden mean ay walang katapusan na maulit bilang pinapakita ng ilustrasyon. Pantheon golden proportion. Artists have used the golden mean to help them make decisions about the placement of important visual elements, not only in painting but also to direct the size and spacing the architecture. So ginagamit ng mga artista ang golden mean upang matulungan silang gumawa ng mga disenyo na naglalagay ng mahalagang elemento ng visual art. Hindi lang ito sa kwadro na gawa, ngunit ito ay direkta ang laki at spacing ng mga elemento ng arkitektura. We can use the golden mean to create visually pleasing artwork by placing important subject based on the ratio in art. So sinasabi, maaari nating gamitin ang golden mean upang lumikha ng visual na nakakalugod na likha ng sining sa pamamagitan ng paglalagay ng mga mahalagang paksa batay dito sa ratio sa ating sining.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, classmates. I'm Melanie Jeremias, BEED1. In arts appreciation, I'm included in group 2. So, in our subject, which is arts appreciation is more on studying of arts. Then, in this video reporting that assigned to every one of us, the topic or whatever that assigned to me is the clarity, which is included in philosophical import of arts. So, yun. When we say philosophical import, the study of the nature of art. including concepts such as interpretation, representation, and expression and form. It is closely related to aesthetics, the philosophical study of beauty and taste. So, yun. And then, when we say clarity, the quality or condition of being clear or easy to understand. From the word itself, clarity is clear, clear to understand. So, yung klaro, kumbaga sa visual arts, makikita doon papasok yung kung paano paklaro yung isang artwork, ganun. Clarity is like mind of a creative work, communicating message and idea. In clarity, it is a condition of beauty when things are called beautiful which have a bright color. So, in clarity, pasok dito yung mga bright colors. For example, sa artwork, doon papasok yung bright color. Clarity also looks at the idea and meaning of the visual stimulus. So, clarity also important and it is also needed if we're going to make a kind of artwork, cause in this, light, brightness, radiance, and shine will appear. So, yun. Sa clarity daw, dito ipapasok yung light, brightness, radiance, and shine. Doon yun. Pasok yun sa art, sa isang artwork. Ganun.